Blacks and Religion, Volume 1 by Robin Walker. Now this book is divided by 3 parts. What did the Africans contribute to the origin of religion? The equinox and the real story behind Easter, and understanding the Book of the Dead. In the beginning of the book, Walker writes about the problems when studying ancient African religion. How the Europeans denigrate or would dismiss the ancient African religions in their ancient writings. He also pointed out the unfortunate trend of some black scholars either avoiding the topic or just being opposed to it, while some black scholars had tried to normalize African religion, but just not in the right ways. And you can tell when reading this book, Robin Walker is setting the record straight. Walker examines the ancient African religious concepts and their traditions on how it influenced the outside world. And he starts by highlighting the similarities of African religions. The 3 that he dives into is the Yoruba religion, the Dogon religion, and the ancient Egyptian religion. The Yoruba religion originated in Nigeria. Scholars have been amazed by its rich literature and advanced number system and their religious deities. To the Dogon religion that flourished in Mali. Their cosmology, particularly the creation of Amma, the creator god, and their story of the universe was incredibly advanced for its time. And of course, the ancient Egyptian religion, Africa's oldest cosmology system, with its famous 8 primordial deities and a profound creation story. Not only that their deities or their story of creation of life ties them together, but their understanding of the afterlife. A significant part of the book focused on the iconic story of Isis and Osiris. Now, there isn't a single current account of the myth. The story is told in many versions and evolved over time. But Walker gives a powerful rendition by drawing on Professor John G. Jackson's version, for which is based on the account of the Greek philosopher Plutarch, who traveled to Egypt around the 1st century AD. Moving to part 2, the equinox and the real story behind Easter, Walker finds the connection between other ancient religions and practice we see in Christianity today. One being the ancient Mesopotamia story involving their deity Bel, and of course the ever-present influence of the Egyptian Osiris story. What's great is that Walker isn't claiming this is his personal take. Throughout this book, he's constantly quoting other Egyptologists and their research, giving us a solid foundation of historical evidence. The 3rd part of the book, the Book of the Dead, he references the notable E.A. Wallace Budge, who was instrumental in translating the Book of the Dead into English. Walker explains how the ancient Egyptians viewed life and death as not as like a beginning or end, but as a continuous cycle. And he clarifies that in the book. The Book of the Dead is not just a book full of spells, it's a comprehensive guide to navigating to the afterlife. He details the deities, the symbols, and the roles. Now, my final thoughts is Robin Walker's writing style is so accessible and direct that it makes complex topics feel incredibly engaging. For me, it was truly easy to read. You could tell when reading this book, Walker gets straight to the point. He answers his core questions very clearly, and he uses modern language. Some of these Egypt history books can be very dense with information. Writing styles from as early as the 1800s. Ancient Egypt lasted for about 3,000 years. There were many deities. The religion had changed over time. But what I liked most about this book is that it is packed with references of brilliant African historians and Egyptologists, which is great for anyone wanting to dive deeper. And not only that, it really builds in trust to information given. Now, please let me know in the comments if you have read this book and what you enjoyed about it, or if you plan on reading it. The links are below. Subscribe for more.